Hello again, everybody. Up until now, Dawnguard's had some fun moments, some admittedly questionable decisions with the story and game design, and a few genuine nuisances. Well, those days are over. From here on out, Dawnguard is one long, miserable slog uninterrupted by any moments of interest or excitement. It's one interminable dungeon after another with no challenge to him other than just mustering the willpower to continue. I had so little fun playing through it the first time that I have never actually repeated the feat, which is why up until now I've never actually beaten the questline of the vampires. So here we have an outdoor harbor thing, just drawing further attention to the absurd location of the castle. Along a major waterway. What a stupid line of dialogue, Serana. And it's infested with a bunch of generic random undead for no reason. Now, they really outdid themselves, making all the fights from here on out be pointless and repetitive. They asked themselves, what's the most boring kind of undead imaginable? Oh, of course, skeletons. But how could we make that worse? Well, skeletons up until now died in basically one hit. But they decided, why don't we just make all the skeletons be, no challenge, same as before, but have like 1,000 extra hit points apiece for some reason. So that's what we're facing from here on out. Absurdly tough skeletons. No threat, and a massive waste of time. Shouting them off cliffs is one of the few ways to do good damage, although this guy did not bounce the way I was hoping he would. Alright. Maybe I'll leave Serana down there with him and I'll go find the other one who's up here, so I can do more damage. Ooh, that guy's actually semi-fragile. Instead of this nonsense, we could have just, actually, I can't even find a way to fix this part of the questline. None of it even makes, a cursory amount of sense. And they get stupider and stupider as they go along. Alright, get down there, you. I can't even shout at people very well around here. It's always just things that bounce off of them. Damage. Alright, that one down. There's one left, still holding out. Then I can get inside this stupid castle and get things over with. Wow, is he... Let me just summon Aznak on top of him. No, we're certainly not going to die like this. These guys do basically no damage. So there's no way I could lose them unless I just, I don't know, went and got a soda or something like that. Alright, that's done with. Let's get in this door. So, let's fight even more skeletons with boosted hit points. And then let's do another giant dungeon full of nothing but skeletons with boosted hit points under new names. Oh, okay, a rat. I take it back. There's a rat. That was at least new and exciting. So now we're in another generic area of Castle Volkihar. We've already seen this kind of architecture before. Death Hounds. I guess I could turn undead them, but they've stopped really being a major threat now that major frost resistance. The days when these guys were actually lethal are long since over with. Then they go over here and turn one of them, just so I can maybe get a little bit of... Or maybe I'll just repel. Yeah. When it says resisted, it actually just means that he's immune. Alright, so that's done with. There's another one. Didn't join the fight for some reason. Let me equip Aura Whisper here and make that be my... Oops, not what I meant to do. Lost! Quite a few enemies I gotta get to. I think I see a Frostwood Slider over there. So I take it back. You fight random vermin and skeletons. I don't know why there would be giant packs of Death Hounds that are hostile to us in this castle. This is Harkon's castle. We're doing Harkon's work here. Also, I missed the part where we became Harkon's enemies, but the surrounding seems to take that for granted. As I've said, this sword doesn't make sense. This is one of the ones that we get up. You can't check that with Aura Whisper, but just will cheat to avoid being noticed by that and then spring out and attack you. Oh, random vampire over there. Sure, that's cute. Feral vampire. Why would Harkon not care about having a random feral vampire infesting his castle? There's all these Dawnguard, vampire quests to go exterminate lesser vampires. But apparently, he just has one in his castle, next to his dockyard, which presumably one serves an important purpose. Alright. Well, that's done with. Is there anything useful to loot around here? I don't think so. No. Alchemy lab, we don't need that. Those are unusual, but they're not useful. They really dropped that book everywhere. I think Hypothetical Treachery is a instruction skill book. That one I've already read. It's a moderately funny little play. Yes, we need to find a few levers around here. Open the ways onward. This is like Skyrim's version of Castlevania. I never liked that series, and this is far worse.
Who's there?
So, we did find 2 different switches around here, as I recall. And Serana, I guess, is picking that one, so I'm forced to go along with my follower.
Who's there?
Why are there random bear traps here? Who set these up? Nothing about this castle makes sense. Nothing about this dungeon makes sense. It shouldn't even be a dungeon. Where's the enemy? There's a frosted spider just kind of stuck up there. Spikes in here. Okay, this is just the way out of the water. Serana picked the wrong way. Okay, so we'll go back to the main area. Excuse me. Got things to do. This is up above us here. There's a death hound.
Who's there?
She raised the skeleton. That's going to contribute a lot to this fight in here, of course. With its generic Nord weapon, probably being a level 1. Most corpses just lying around in the ground are just level 1 corpses. They didn't bother making anything to be surprisingly higher level. What an icky area this is.
You know you're useful.
Yeah. I have potions, whatever. But why would there be cure disease ones in here? I'm not sure if it's random loot or if those are pre-placed nonsense. Either way. Okay, so one of these will lead to the spider's lair. I guess that is probably not treasure chest. That breaks the monotony. Let's see what kind of loot I get today. Well, back to the monotony. So giant frosted spiders are, I guess, a moderate challenge. I mean, could probably instant kill them, but I could just times piece it whenever. How did that spider web there block my... whatever. I think Serana might be... yeah, she's blocking me in.
Still remember how to
I
fight.
have a way to fix that. Or not. Thought of a catapult before. I'm really not having the best luck with where people got knocks people around today. There we go. Finally getting in. And if I can just keep her in there. Probably some of the new astronauts also with this is not hanging back pointlessly. If you're going to have us go to the Castle Volkar for no good reason, at least have it be a unique dungeon of some sort. With some different kinds of enemies and different things to do. There we go.
Yes.
Found the other switch of that bridge. Alright, I guess this is the way onward. Where are the enemies? We might have actually cleared out of them in this section. Now, a courtyard, almost by definition, has many entrances. So you probably could have skipped all this stuff and just, like, rappelled down from a wall or something like that, or just found some other door
Made it to the courtyard.
in any kind of logical castle design.
Oh no.
There's nothing oh no really here. Just a creepy vampire garden, which apparently used to be prettier.
What happened to this place?
Well, it was...
Everything's been torn down. The whole place looks, well, dead. It's like we're the first
Isn't
to
that
set foot
exactly
in
what your plan was
centuries.
counting on? Why is that a surprise to you?
This used to lead into the castle's great hall.
Everything she
Looks like my
says
father
is
had it
stupid, and
sealed
everything
up.
in this storyline makes no
I used to
sense.
walk through here after evening meals. It was beautiful once.
So she runs around, and we have to do a
This was my mother's
non-puzzle
garden.
scavenger hunt thing to fix this thing up.
Do you know how beautiful something can be when it's tended by a
Well,
master for hundreds
yeah,
of years?
because
She would have
this is a
hated to see
setting
it like
where, like,
this.
more
Wait.
people live to be hundreds than don't. Well, with, like, elves and all wizards living for ages and vampires and all kinds of things like that. It'd be commonplace to have, like, master artisans who are hundreds of years old. Speaking of which, elves must just be profoundly lazy not to have all mastered, like,
Something's
every
wrong
kind
with
of art
that.
and craft by the time you meet
Some of
them.
the crests
I
are
mean,
missing
just
and
imagine what
dust.
somebody who applied themselves even a little bit could do with an extra 50 years of life, let alone
Maybe
500.
my mother's trying to tell us something.
Wouldn't it make more sense that the people who, like, torch this place, just whatever.
I'm telling you, there's something strange with the moon
So,
dial.
this doesn't really make sense. It's just another way to waste your time.
Dexian said something about that. Maybe we should try asking at the College of
No, that's the
Winterhold.
stupidest...
Sounds like something they'd know about.
Her and the College of Winterhold, which shouldn't even have really existed necessarily when she was sealed up. Actually, it definitely shouldn't have existed.
Well, as far as I'm aware, it's the only one in existence.
That doesn't make any sense.
The previous
This is
owners
not
of
at all
the
what a
castle
moon
had
dial is like,
sundial
even
in
on
the courtyard.
Earth, where there's only one moon.
Obviously,
This
that
wouldn't
didn't
even make the
work out.
slightest bit of sense in
She
Tamriel
persuaded
with,
an
too.
elven
Of course, the
artisan to
developers
make
were so
some
lazy that they
pieces.
only depicted
You
one
can see
moon
the
on
plates
it.
that show the phases of the moons, Maser and Secunda. And that's the thing. What's the point of a moon dial? I always wondered why she didn't just have the whole thing ripped out. But she loved it. I don't know. I guess it's like having a piece of art, if you're into that sort of thing. Hard to say. Maybe if we found the missing crests, we could figure it out. If I had to guess, knowing him, anything
Now,
at all
of
that
course,
reminded him of
like,
her was just destroyed.
If he ransacked this place, he would have found the crests, and he would have found her, and her whole stupid, stupid, stupid plan would have been foiled, but
It
whatever.
appears that way. I suppose he... Perhaps if he had spent more time with us, he would have recognized the beauty for himself.
This is an unbelievably dumb question, but it's one I have to
There's
ask to
not
get
a whole
her
lot to tell.
background.
You've already seen my father's obsession. My mother's not a whole lot better, but you'll see that soon enough. My father... No, not really. What about you? What were your parents
One of the
like?
few chances we actually get to talk about the Dragonborn's past.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring up a bad memory. Let's just keep going.
Right, so we just gotta search around here. There's no quest markers to help out, but it's pretty easy. It's just a confined space with no danger. Just gotta kind of wander around until you find where they are. Oh look, there's one. And as I recall, there's one in like the Nightshade Garden. Ooh, there it is. That's the only one I actually remember from years ago when I played this thing all the way through. So I need to actually scout around for the last one, I guess. Oh, there we go. Alright, get out of this stupid place. So I'll just like put these around here in whatever random order it lets me do so in. Not that one. Despite there being supposedly, 2 moons to this thing, it only shows 1 moon of these two things, so they were lazy about that too.
If we had the crests, we wouldn't have to keep hanging around this lovely place.
If the Indians didn't make us waste our time here, we wouldn't have had to either.
If we had the crests, we wouldn't have to keep
So it's like
hanging
sticking
around.
a secret
Very
passage, which
clever,
apparently he
Mother.
never suspected,
Very
and neither
clever.
did she. Like, you would think, like, in the
I've
process
never
of
been
having
in
this
those
elven
tunnels
artisan
before,
make the
but
place...
I bet they'd run right under the courtyard
Whatever.
and into the tower ruins. Well, at least we're getting close.
Now, of course, like,
Let's go.
there's no reason for this one tower to be totally sealed off from all the others too. There should be other ways in that Harkon would have known about and would have found. In fact, there is one. But whatever. Like, even if he wasn't looking for her, he could have all kinds of random reasons to just want to use sections of his own castle that could have led him to discover this place. Nothing about Valerica's hiding place makes sense. It's just the worst idea imaginable. And yet we're supposed to think it's brilliant. Alright. I think it's mostly gargoyles in here, so my shouts will not be as helpful as they ought to
I've
be.
never even seen this part of the castle before. Be careful. I don't know what might be around.
There's a randomly cooking pot for some reason. There's randomly blood on this table for no reason, even though no living person's been in here in ages.
Lost!
A lot of skeletons in there. Let's just get this over with. Alright, I'm going to... Oh, get it really conveniently located. I'm trying to get like a line on them with Repel Lesser Undead, but I guess I can't do that. That's a tactful. That guy can either magic, he's useful. He guy shot me. He's not that tough, okay. How could you even drain blood from this? Whatever. They all ran in that one particular direction, it seems. Anything around here to find? I don't think so. So clearly, actually, lots of people used to hang out in this part of the castle. But, whatever. Somehow it's a secret. Resummon this up here where it would do more good.
Lost!
You tired of fighting extra tough skeletons yet? I sure am. Oh, gargoyles. Yeah, those spike things, besides just doing random damage too, also can inflict random diseases. So as I mentioned, gargoyles have a health stealing attack with their claws. So I want to keep them stunned whenever possible, and avoid letting my Atronach get too close to them, because it'll happily feed them not much HP and make this fight even longer than it has to be. One gargoyle at a time is really... Oh. Stun that down. Yeah, one gargoyle at a time is not really that bad. When there's two, it can be hard to get your NPCs to focus fire on them, so just make the fights go on and on and on. So gargoyles, as I mentioned, when they're statue form, will not be detected by Aura Whisper. There are a few somewhat cheesy and overly complicated ways you can discover which ones are which, but it's also usually pretty obvious.
Lost!
Some of them are just inert statues, apparently. More skeletons! Alright, well, I'm happy to get destruction up. Just another 9 levels to go, and I can get the next perk. Okay, so these things light up. And... the ambient music's kind of annoying too. Okay. I think I want an Atronach, although it could just feed HP to this guy. Because when it's not feeding HP, when I've got the guy stunned, it is useful, it does add significant DPS. Toronto would just come around the corner here, we could get him. He's getting distracted. Alright, we got that one. And it's a skeleton. Pretty sturdy one. You guys work on that. I'll see what kind of random mineral ore the gargoyle. Where does this body go? Oh. Okay. Well, when it collapses into ash, I'll see what kind of random mineral ore it had. That's their loot for some reason. I guess because they're stone, but then most stones don't have, like, the blood of the gods embedded in it, which is what glass and ebony are. Or were until this game. No, we've alerted a whole bunch of them. I can't tell which direction it is that they're coming from. But my Atronach, I guess it's down here. My Atronach will...
Who's there?
Off you go, little buddy. Any of these?
Who's there?
You did. Nothing over here of interest. Why is it going that way? Alright. I've mentioned before how I don't like the inclusion of a generic vampire castle in, Skyrim, when it doesn't fit Elder Scrolls lore about Skyrim's vampires at all. But if you're going to do one, there's so many better examples. And there's like a whole series of games of nothing but exploring castles full of vampires. Plenty of others too they could have learned from, but they didn't. There they are. Oh, really? Determined to go for only me, huh? A bunch more somewhere over here. Now, they've made this distinction between, like, the architecture of these vampires and so forth versus, ancient Nord stuff, and yet they gave them just ancient Nord armor and weapons for some reason. Kind of. Another one. Just about as tough. Some of them are way sturdy than this if you're at higher level. But literally can have like 1,000 HP, I think. Luckily I'm so low enough level that they aren't that. Okay. Anybody else? Who's next? Plenty more to go, it seems. I don't think there's really any interesting traps in here. This isn't. Whatever.
I knew I heard something.
Good, it's a fragile one. Those are always just like such a delightful relief. Just to not need to fight them for quite so long. What luck, 2 fragile ones. Why are you using ice against these things? You of all people should know that I'm getting this ice. That should just be like the one thing you know about fighting above all else. They also should really have given her some different combat dialogue, areas to the Dawnguard quest at the very least. If you're going to force them to use their obnoxious follower, at least make them say interesting things. Give us some exposition, make things make sense. Like, you could come up with exposition that would make all this nonsense I'm pointing out make sense. They just didn't do it, despite having the perfect vehicle to do so. Alright. So isn't going to wake up. Is there anything else around other than this statue that's clearly going to come alive? No? Okay. In that case, we'll pull the chain, and the statue comes alive. What do you know? Conjuration level. Nothing really putting any perks in it doesn't really matter, but, conjuration level. Yeah, there it is, got some blood drain. Seconds when it's running around, not actually hitting anything, are good seconds, because they give you time to regenerate. Alright, I actually haven't bothered looting most of their stuff, but there we go.
Who's there?
Who is there? Oh. Huh. At least you don't need mithril weapons here, so you get in dagger fall. Alright, who's next? Another skeleton? Is it another gargoyle? So many enemies left. Vampires hate sunlight, but they didn't block up the windows. That would really be like a major time saver. You could blot out the entire sun, sure, or you could just like get some blinds. Just about got it down. Okay. There's another lever to pull. Opens that. And there's even more generic enemies over there. What's in here, though? I'm curious. quite bad at this today. There we go. This is another path up to where the enemies are. Or just something more interesting in here. I don't really mind leaving strong to get chewed on for the time being. There we go. Use this honed ancient road weapon, which is significantly more powerful, but still not really useful. That's a soul trap weapon. Hello. Oh, you're a sturdy one, huh? Just my luck. Even in Legendary, you can get a nod of it. Ah, there's one. Doesn't have armor. That's right. That corresponds to fragility. Sometimes. How many of them are left?
Lost!
Not too many. Well, if there's one thing Serana is good at, it's just like surviving a long time with a constant blood drain. Are you guys gonna like get up off the table and attack me or anything like that? No? Okay. Lots of random hallways to go through.
Lost!
Well, I guess I found the way forward and need to go back and rescue her so she can catch up. Very well. Or did she finish off the last of them? That's possible too. Nope. Guess not. She's just pinned down over there. Oh. Gargoyle. Whose gargoyle is it? Why is it doing nothing? Mage skeletons are always mysteriously sturdy. I guess it's an enemy gargoyle, but why is it freaking undead? Who resurrected? You don't have a spell to do that? That's rare. Yep, weird. He must have actually had a spell to resurrect them. And you're just stuck in stupid blood drain mode now. Skyrim's glitchiest NPC. Alright, maybe you can talk to me now? No? Can we be stuck like that? Alright. So, she's so glitchy even with the unofficial patch, you often have to use console commands to fix her. This is not acceptable in a follower you're forced to take with you throughout the entire quest line. Oh, a little trap with wire there. Whatever. No, maybe I just missaw that. I thought it was a little trap with wire there.
Lost!
Alright, you can find the way back to where I was before. You are stuck. Hopefully when I get to the next area, you will transport to me or something. You've got some scripted dialogue here, I'm certain. Right, on the right track again. Seems like a whole bunch of gargoyles are going to pop up and attack me if I go in here. That seems like a big problem. Without... Oh, just one. Not what I want to do. No, these two. Okay. Well. Not a big enough fall to really matter. I guess I'll just stun lock this guy as long as I can. If he's running down there, I'm content for the time being. Then I'll use... Oh, he's coming after knock. Oof. That part did not go quite the way I wanted it to. Thought I had enough for one more stun there so I could get away with that. Alright, maybe if I lure them back to Serana, she'll resume fighting. That'd be another way to get things moving again. Can I not jump over that balcony? There we go. There we go. Okay, she's up and on her feet. That's nice. Will she run to them? Smart enough?
Get back here!
Different one. That's alright. She's moving for the time being. She may stop as soon as the fight ends again. We've seen this bug with her before. Alright, moving right along. Yeah, she's stuck again.
Lost!
Where are the others? Okay, some of them are up there. This is so repetitive. No, I've been through there. That's not the path. This place is a bit of a maze, but... No, not there. I should have just paid more attention to the layout and saved a little bit of time here.
Lost!
Alright, now the question is, which one of these is the injured one who can finish off momentarily? Ah, good. This one. One gargoyle after this should be no real threat. Are you coming? There you are. Well, 3 hits. I'll just regenerate a bit, get some magic back. The attack is incapable of fighting with its only attack. Just about got him. I am greatly looking forward to hitting destruction level 60 so I can really upgrade my fire power. Alright, we got that one too. Next room. I forget how many there are left before the story continues. Hopefully not too many. I am tired of all of this. A rare set of that. It's not useful armor, but it is a rare type of armor. I wouldn't think the vampires really want fireplaces. The dragon skull, mysteriously. You'll see other sillier sights in here. I feel like that one's going to come alive. I'm going to do something. The question is, what do you need to do? Is there a secret candle? Okay, is that going to activate a gargoyle? That activates a gargoyle. Maybe not. Maybe when I walk through here it does.
Lost!
Ah, here we are. Alright. Now I just need to get Serana to come up here. If she doesn't, I may just need to dig out the console commands and teleport her up here. I'll loot the lab in the meantime. So this is like, the laboratory of Valerica. Which you would think would be the kind of place that Harkon would, know about. So you need to be keeping it stocked with all these rare and valuable ingredients. I need all these 3 things I'm going to collect right now. Grandma has a dragon bone. That's unique, at least. There's a 3rd thing I need to collect, I think, somewhere around here. Whatever. Valuable. Yep. Okay, so let me look up Serana's ID.
We're getting close. I'm sure of it.
I guess I just need to walk back myself. Fine.
Turns out my mother was sneakier than I thought. I wonder what she's hiding.
So I did misremember that code, but that's alright. Where was it? Yes, it was through here, and then through the room with all the gargoyles, and then to the laboratory, where we get reintroduced to a part of Elder Scrolls lore that has not actually been seen since Battlespire, which was only dubiously canon. But this is one of the things that they did more or less the same. There was that other item they had to collect in here. Serana, are you coming?
Lost!
No, she's coming. She's just slow. Very well. Yeah, I just remember that there were 3... This library is a disappointment. It's like an ancient library of like an ancient vampire who would have all kinds of valuable books. I mean, it should be ruined, but still. Ah, there we go. We'll need that. I'll find that when Serana arrives. Where is that last ingredient? Was it up here, maybe? I can take those, I guess. It's like finding human flesh on a human's shelves. Those are not actually rare, despite the fact that pearls basically never grow in cold waters.
Necromancy. I mean, she taught me everything I know. But I had no idea she had a setup like this.
How she would have kept this secret is mysterious.
She must have spent years collecting these components.
There we go.
And what's this thing?
She means the portal, obviously, which is obviously a portal.
I'm not sure about this circle, but it's obviously...
It's a portal!
Let's take a look around. There has to be something here that tells us... My mother was meticulous.
It's Skyrim, so you gotta find a book that tells you everything.
Find her... Not that I ever saw. My mother had a bit of a thing for magical constructs. Not what you're thinking. She just found them fascinating. I had no idea she had an alchemy set up in her drawing room. But nothing that even... Looking at the equipment and materials, it looks like she was trying to... I don't know. Certainly not longevity. Kind of a waste
So
of
let me
time
ask
for
this
a vampire.
moronic question here.
That's a long story. I guess we kind of have to go way back, to the very beginning. Do you know where vampirism came from?
Molag Bal didn't like that people were happy, so he raped some unfortunate human woman, then she became a vampire and spread vampirism around.
Exactly. The first vampire came from Molag Bal. She was
The
not
worst
a
of all
living
data, the
subject,
worst thing in the
but she was
entire
still the
Elder
worst.
Scrolls universe.
Molag Bal is a powerful
And not
Daedric
until
lord,
Elder Scrolls Online could you
and
do a
his
darn
will
thing
is
to
made
him.
reality. For those willing to subjugate themselves, he will still bestow the gift, but they must be powerful in their own right before earning his trust. The ceremony was degrading. Let's not revisit that. But we all took part in it. Not really wholesome family activity, but I guess it's something you do when you give yourselves to a Daedric lord.
Which is, you know, a monstrous and evil thing to want to do, but whatever.
Well, you've met
I'm always
most of
choosing the
us.
nice dialogue
My
options here.
father's
I'm
not
thinking
exactly
that'll let
the
me
most
actually get
stable,
the turner back
and
to a human
eventually
thing
he
later
drove
on.
my mother crazy with him. And it all ended with me being locked underground for who knows how long. It's definitely been a bad thing, on the whole. I will be. Just give me a little time.
Right, so let me go back to her bookshelf. Which one was it that had it? There we go.
Keep searching.
So, here we go. 27th last seed. Year left very vague here, but it has to be, like, extremely early in history. Harkon's short-sightedness is becoming a serious problem. I've warned him time and time again that his foolish prophecy would cast far too much light, well, it did the opposite of that, on our people, and yet he refuses to so much... That's like the stupidest imaginable criticism of his plan. Like, wiping out the sun would presumably kill, like, all life on the planet, and then you couldn't have any humans to feed on. That's the real problem with it. Not to mention that the sun isn't even that big of a problem to begin with, and all he wants to do is hang out in his castle all day anyway. What would he benefit from this? Those are the bigger issues with this plan. I've become less a wife and more of an annoyance in his eyes. Devoting attention to my work is the only solace I can find while enduring his ridiculous crusade. 28th last seed. I had a breakthrough today. I was able to attune the portal vessel to the soul cairn properly by using a small sample of ingredients. Although the portal opened only for a few seconds, I'm confident with a proper formula can be sustained indefinitely. I feel like I'm missing a key ingredient, something of sufficient potency that can resist the forces trying to prevent my intrusion. This, of all planes, is the one that would least try to prevent your intrusion, but whatever. Communing with the ideal masters has proved worthless. They speak in riddles and offer me... Yeah, that was true in Battle Spire too. But then in that case, they're trying to disguise the fact they're telling you to kill yourself so you can become their slave. Here, it doesn't make sense they want to disguise what they're doing. Whether I ensure them a steady supply of soul... and so again, Valeric is a complete monster, offering them, like, you know, the souls of innocence to advance their own power and... whatever. If I'm to escape Harkon's clutches, I need to keep the portal open long enough to carry me away from here. Forever, if need be. There's so many better places and smarter places you could escape to if you're just going to flee to some random plane and hope he never checks there. Not even a random one. It's like a very bad one to go to, because he would know that you're like a necromancer specialist, and it's like the plane that necromancers care most about, and like he himself certainly does some necromancy, and so do his vampire court members, so... Plus you're going to the plane dominated by these ideal masters who are your enemy... So many stupid things about this plan. Third Hearthfire. I've done it! After wasting thousands of gold coins, without Harkon noticing, on components, I've discovered how to sustain the portal. I'm listing the components below without the proper amounts for my own protection. As a secondary precaution, I'm combining my own... Why would you even write that down? It doesn't make sense that people would write whatever. I'm combining my own blood into the formula, which would prevent anyone from being able to duplicate it and following me into the Soul Cairn. How would that... If the formula works, it doesn't need... your... whatever. Formula consists of finely ground bone meal, purified void salt, soul gem shards. Found all of that. Using the proper measurements, place the above in the silver-lined portal vessel and add blood as your reactive agent. I will make my way into the Soul Cairn tomorrow after I gather my things for potentially lengthy exile. More importantly, I must enact my plans with Serana and go to Dim Hollow Crypt as soon as possible. And if you have a way to do that without Harkon noticing, why do you even need to go to the Soul Cairn?
Notes. She probably had a journal or something.
Here it is.
Any luck yet? You did? Let me see them. I only know what
I have to pretend I don't know, whereas Hjalti should definitely know all about it. Any powerful mage should, especially an ambitious one like him.
When they're used. They end up in the Soul Cairn.
Now, that's actually kind of new to this game. Up until this game, there was no actual lore saying that all Soul Truck people get stuck in the Soul Cairn to be, have a miserable eternal existence. That's new and
the
kind
Soul
of
Cairn is home to
makes a lot of her previous
powerful
characters
beings.
be horrible monsters.
Necromancers send them souls and receive powers of their own in return. My mother spent a lot of time trying to contact them directly, to travel to the Soul Cairn itself.
And if that was known to people other than just your mother, why didn't we suspect that she'd be there?
That circle in the center of the room is definitely some type of portal. If I'm reading this right, there's a formula here that should give us safe passage. A handful of soul gems.
Found them.
Oh, damn it. We're also going to need a sample of her blood, which, if we... not bad. Anyway, enough of that. Oh, good. Well then, let's head over to the portal vessel and I'll do the rest.
Okay, so if you thought this dungeon was needlessly long, repetitive, and rather drab looking, you haven't seen anything yet. To further add to the needless length, we gotta have her slowly walk up the stairs. Couldn't have her jog over there when we're on this important mission. Again, there's like windows to the outside, yet Harkon never noticed the secret lab. Like, it's whatever.
Get the ingredients in that vessel and let me know when you're ready. Then the rest is up to me. Are you ready to go? I'm not entirely sure what this thing is going to do when I add my blood. Then the rest... Are you ready to go?
Yes, let's do it.
I'm not entirely sure what this thing is going...
I guess we'll do this.
Of course. What is it? I've been asking myself the same thing since we came back to the castle.
Maybe you should have figured that out
She
before
was
you...
so sure of what we did to my father. I couldn't help but go along with her. I never thought of the cost. Possibly. I guess even she worried about me. About all of us. But she wanted to get me as far away. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry. Are we
Again,
ready
I'm
then?
pretending to care. Hjalti is pretending to care too.
All right.
He despises
Here
her,
goes.
but he knows that she's useful to him. So he'll keep buttering her up, and she seems to fall for it.
By the blood of my ancestors.
Yes, that's how we did it.
Created a portal in Soul Cairn. Incredible.
There are like several others, at least several others. There's one in Battlespire, that one was closed. Necromancers like send things here and can't go there pretty often. It's nothing that special. But we haven't actually had a player go there since Battlespire.
Incredible.
So. Kelsey knows a decent amount about it theoretically, but she might know more.
The Soul Cairn is a tiny sliver of Oblivion, the realm of the Daedra. It's ruled by unseen beings.
They're not
known
actually
as the
unseen, they
Ideal
have
Masters.
a physical presence.
Honestly, I don't know. Necromancers are always interested in souls, though, so that probably has some.
And this is the
interest.
reason they want souls, so they can feed them to the Ideal Masters in exchange for...
Nobody really knows.
Actually, we do know.
As
We
far
know
as
there were
I've
formerly
heard, no one's
human
seen them in
necromancers or
return
elf
to
necromancers who
Tamriel
turned themselves into
telepaths.
these. Yeah, the Battlespire guy, whatever.
I've read stories. Stories about fools that manage to communicate with them. You
The
give
Daedra should
Ideal
also know, because the
Masters
Daedra,
souls,
invaded
they give
them a
you
couple
powers to
times
summon
and
the
things like
undead.
that.
It's all very businesslike. Because most of the stories end with the Ideal Masters duping the necromancers.
Kind of like
who end
Clavicus'
up
vow, it's
dead
unclear
or
why anybody would
wishing
make deals with
they
him.
were
I guess it's not quite as bad as Clavicus, who's like the god of betraying people to make deals with him. But
I'm ready when you are.
so if you're a human at this point, you have to become a vampire, which is, again, a way to force you to break character and do stupid things, or let her soul trap you, which, again, you should never, ever let somebody do. So you have to have your character be a moron, as usual. Well, that's where we'll wrap things up for now. Alright, hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, by all means subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm always happy to address questions about Skyrim's lore or mechanics if you have any. Have a great day, everyone!